The class of 22 MWGA Hall of Fame inductions. We are so glad you're here. It's really special to be able to honor the 7 inductees today, and had a great history with our Hall of Fame. We appreciate the support. We especially appreciate those members that have been invited to be inducted for the service they provided, for the skills and achievements they made. And it's just so special to be able to have the opportunity to get us all together and honor those people that have done so much for golf in Michigan and so much for our association, the MWGA. I'm going to make this short because we have seven honorees and we want to give them an opportunity to speak. But I just want to give you a little background on how the selection process works and who we look at and what skills and achievements we look at when selecting our Hall of Fame members. Number one, we do ask those of you that know people that have made special contributions as far as you are aware of. We're always looking for input. We don't know everyone, but our members try to find and select those players and leaders in the golf business in Michigan to be selected for this honor. We believe that recognition is important. It's in any business, in any industry. Those that excel and come to the top, it's paramount that we give them the recognition that they deserve. So we look at, everyone understands that we look at our public course, not our public course players, I'm sorry. I'll do that a lot, and I apologize for that. I have a tendency to skip words sometimes. my brain gets ahead of my mouth or backwards, so try to keep it in sync. If I don't just raise you. If you don't understand something, let me know. We do have a lot of outstanding athletes, and recognizing them is so easy. It's when you see someone excels in a sport, and they have national awards, not just local and state awards, and they're recognized and respected by all other players, young and old. That special place, that skill set that it takes for them to get there is something that we all recognize as being significant. And so selecting players, there's not a ton of elite players at that level, but we have a considerable amount, and those players were always considered for the Hall of Fame. But not only the players, we look at other golf professionals, teaching professionals, golf coaches, those people that have an impact and influence on not only the young girls and boys that want to come to the sport, but to also older and skilled players who are trying to develop and hone in those skills. Our teaching pros and coaches help instill an appreciation for the game, help our younger players learn to enjoy it regardless of their skill level, stick with the game and continue to play for the rest of their lives, hopefully. And those that are rewarded and awarded for specific accomplishments is something special that we hold close to us, and we do try to make sure that we understand and recognize who those individuals are. In addition to that, you don't have to be a teaching pro, you don't have to be a player. If you are a leader in the business, you participate on a board or in an organization or in a special program where you actually have a chance to impact and influence some of the decisions that are made about what happens, especially in women's golf, getting more competitions, having an opportunity to impact what courses do with tees, being able to impact how you received when you walk into a club or a pro shop. It's important that as a business, that women are respected and we're understood. It is understood that we have special needs and special skill sets that are not necessarily what the norm has been, but something that actually needs to be considered for women. And those leaders have brought some very special things. I mean, they do sit on the boards of organizations like the GAM and other women's associations. They bring people together to help increase that understanding. In addition to that group, we have our golf course owners and superintendents and other people in the business. Particular impact, hopefully, on women, while they can engage and ensure that women are represented properly again in the business world. Also, the same thing with media. So important for media and writers and journalists to write the stories, to share the stories with all the golfing community, so they recognize where women fit into that arena. So what we do, we look for people that brought awareness and respect with quality and professionalism to our sport. And those are the people we're honoring here today. And we have honored in the previous classes. The class of 16, I believe, was the first class, in 2017, 2019, and now at the class of 2022. Just a little bit about how we got here to this point. The MWGA started in 1985. There were 20 founding members. And those members saw a need within golf for women players, especially public course players at that time, who didn't have an opportunity necessarily to get into the qualifiers to play in some of the national tournaments and championships. Women played scrambles in their leagues, but not a lot of competitive sport. These women got together at the leadership, I'm sure, of Sarah Rose. Everybody knows Sarah. I'm sure Sarah has a way of seeing a need, knowing that there's a need there, something has to be done. She's ready to take it and go with it. And she has a way of persuading others positively, tenaciously, in a way that really gets things done. The MWGA was formed in 1985 with the state championship being the first tournament, then other tournaments to follow. And we did, in the early years, brought in hundreds of women that saw the value and appreciated what MWGA did. One of the missions of MWGA and the founders was to make sure that the needs for women are recognized and that they could have an influence with other organizations and associations that represent women in the sport, and that we receive the appreciation that was hopefully expected. Over the years, MWGA has grown. We're still running our tournaments. We are now a 501c3. We run a tremendous girls golf program. And we continue to sit on boards and try to influence and have an impact on what happens to women in this business, not only as a player, but as an industry. And we hope that going forward that we continue to honor that mission and continue to honor the women and men and organizations that support that mission. I am now, again, after want to acknowledge that in our previous, we have inducted 4 members to our Hall of Fame since 2016, 4 members that are no longer with us. And we'd like to take a minute just to acknowledge their hard work. Mary Cunningham, Julia Baldwin, Shirley Spork, and Martha McIntosh. Yeah, for just a moment of silence in their memory. Well, thank you. And as we move forward, I'm going to introduce Francine Pegues, who is going to start the ceremony and induction of the Hall of Fame members.
Thank you, Cynthia. This is good. We have somebody recording who's really very focused on making sure that this is the best possible recording we can get. I hope while you were waiting to go through the food line, you looked at the videos of our previous inductees. And those videos were complimentary from Phyllis's company. We had extensive videos from everybody, and I worked with a company to cut them down so that we could show you, and hopefully you could hear some of what those my peers had said. So, as Cynthia said, thanks for coming. It's my honor today to present to you these outstanding women who have been selected for induction into the Michigan Women's Golf Hall of Fame. The unique honor is bestowed on individuals who have demonstrated outstanding achievement, leadership, professionalism, good character, and the highest standards of conduct associated with the extraordinary game of golf. These individuals contributed greatly to the tradition, the strength, and ongoing success of golf in the state of Michigan. Joan Cleland, please join me. No, I want you to stay. Oh, okay. Okay. So, Joan Cleveland, it's my pleasure and honor to acknowledge your election and induction into the MWGA Hall of Fame. As you read her bio in the program, Joan has given more than 22 years to this organization. As Joan has faced some recent health issues, she shares her perspective on those in MWGA. Joan?
Thank you so much for this honor. It is definitely a recognition that I did not expect, but I'm delighted to be here, and thank you all for coming and for voting for me, I guess, and also the committee who's done a fantastic job. I have been playing golf for 50 years. 22 have been in the MWGA Association. And I have to say that, and most of you know that I was diagnosed with cancer a year ago. And up to that point, I've been playing golf almost every day during the season. And I have not even played a full round this year. But I do want to say that the epiphany that has come to me is that what an important role my golf community, my women's golf community has made for me during this time. All of the cards, well wishes, prayers, visits, just overwhelming. You are my peeps, my golf community, and I love you and I thank you very much.
And congratulations, Joan. Adrian Danzizen Kalor, please join me. I practiced the name. She gave me how to pronounce it, and so I practiced. How did I do?
You could just use the.
Yeah, but you use it till that's it. Comes down over here.
I can't because I have my notes.
Okay. So, Adrian, it's my pleasure and honor to acknowledge your election and induction to the MWGA Hall of Fame. As you read Adrian's bio, you see she has served on the MWGA board. She's been a USGA rules official, a GAM course rater, a teaching professional, and a recognized golf club fitter. Yet there was a major surprise from your husband.
Yeah.
Adrian, tell us about that.
Okay. Well, actually, one of my girlfriends from college is here today, but I remember telling her, I know he's going to ask me to marry him this weekend. I really know. I'm going to get a ring. And so then after he left and it all happened, I called her. She said, "Did you get your ring?" I'm like, "No, I got golf clubs." She said, "But you don't golf." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm going to learn." And he never knew what that means. And he made my career too, because like 5 years later, he came home from work and he said, "I turned in my keys." I'm like, "You did what?" You know, and we bought a golf driving range in the middle of nowhere on the way to nowhere in Osceola, Michigan. And at one time, you know, I was leaving my job as a chemist for the United States, or U.S. Department of Agriculture, and my boss called me over and he says, "Do you guys know what you're doing? You're not gonna, you know, this is not a good move." And I said, "You know what? I can scrub toilets in McDonald's if I have to." Okay? You know, but I really didn't want to, so I went into comforting instead. And so I'll get this back to Francine again. Or no, can I go ahead? Okay. I'll go ahead with my notes because I have to have notes. I'm really honored to be up here. Sarah Wold is the cause of it. You know, I was just this nobody that Sarah Wold says, "Well, why don't you run for the board? We would love to have you on the board." The other word was that she really needed people to run for the board because there were no people. But, you know, I thought Sarah, she has this aura about her that she knows if people are people that can't say no. But really, you know, I found over the years, it's not Sarah that has the aura, it's me that can't say no. But anyways, I never said no to my husband in golf, and he created the spark that started my career in golf, and he ignited my passion for golf, and he ignited my love for him. And without him, he has 100% organization skills. I have 0. Without him, I could not be here today. I had parents who were active leaders in 4-H, and we grew up on a farm, and they instilled the power of hard work and responsibility in me as a kid. And I have to flip the page. Yeah. I had lots of coaches and 4-H leaders, and I do want to recognize a couple people that aren't here today but helped my career in course rating and golf and everything. Besides Sarah Wold, there was Lil Vandenbroeker, who I miss dearly. She was like grandma to me. Judy Figa would come and help me run my Coleman tournament every year. She was part of the Pub Links. And you might not know this, but Joe Likes asked me one time to come and raid a golf course with him. And at the end of the raiding, there were 3 other guys there. And they said, they teed off. And they said, "Oh, well, your tees are up here, and we decided we'll play a scramble because, you know, we don't want to make you feel, you know, belittled." And I said, "No, I'm just fine. I'll hit from these tees with you." Okay, and I blew it by all 3 of them. And they all 3 got cigars in their mouth, and I think whatever's on the end came off. But it was a lot of fun, and my life has been so much fun. I've met so many great people through the business, through club fitting, and then I did go through some illnesses, and I met my friend Donna, who doesn't want me to call her my doctor. We sort of collided, and Peggy and the nurses there, and they saved my life. They and golf. So, I'm here today because of them, and they keep me going every day. Like I go in there and they say, "Oh, she needs more fluids. Oh, we gotta pump her up again." So every week I get more stuff, but I just keep going like that ever-ready bunny, because I'm gonna be here. And the other thing that I want to mention is I love working with kids. I have one of my kids here today that works for Oakland University, Sarah Brown. She was one of my golf kids from way back. And this year we had the Marvelous Avengers of Calderon for our junior golf program. And so we have I have a Marvelous Avenger here today, Ellie, one of my new proteges. And she's got an award she wants to present to Sarah Wolf. This is Ellie Roberts. She's the daughter of the manager at Calderon Golf Club, where I do junior golf and teach and have fun all the time. So Sarah, come on up here, Ellie. Ellie's one of my great proteges. We're gonna play golf tomorrow, Ellie, aren't we? Yes! And we want to have Sarah be part of the Marvelous Avengers Club.
All right, all right.
Yeah. And Ellie, what do we say? Yeah, anytime any junior or even an adult hits a great shot, what do we say?
Who did that?
Who did that? Right? We shout it and we use our muscles. Who did that? Right. And you know what I want to say today? Is we all did that. Okay? You're a part of me, and we all did that. Me and you remember the Michigan Babes?
Oh, the Michigan Bay.
Michigan Babes, Betty Smith, Kathy Herbert, part of the Michigan Babes. Yeah, we don't tell those stories.
Oh, but we should.
Yeah, we should.
I'm very proud of you.
Okay, thanks.
And
Well, I wasn't
And
as
good luck
long
to you.
as Janina was, I? That was a bad joke.
Adrian.
Oh, I get it, I get it.
This is a token of the acknowledgement of your induction into the Michigan Women's Golf Hall of Fame. Marveled at the beauty of the flowers she photographed in her yard. In preparing for this introduction, she told me she's been into photography since 1980 and likes to take pictures of things, not people. So I thought that was all about the flowers. It was just not people. Her husband is thrilled that she doesn't have to spend the money to develop those pictures anymore because it's digital. Patty, we induct you.
Thank you very much. I don't know how to follow up Adrian, but I can agree that it's all Sarah's fault. I thank Pat Myers for nominating me. I thank all of you for voting for me, if you did. And I thank Sarah for getting me involved with GAM, Board of Governors. And everything that I've done has just been out of a love for golf. I didn't think I was going to do this.
That's all right.
I almost didn't get into golf at all because my husband and his buddy tried to teach me how to golf when I was like 25 years old. They took me to Hickory Hollow, put a 7-iron in my hand, and after 9 holes of total humiliation, I said no. And so I didn't pick up a club again until I was 40. And then I was just crazy for golf. I golf everywhere, I do everything with golf. And my husband will complain once in a while about me not being home. And I said, you cost me 15 years of golf, I don't want to hear it. Anyway, I just want to thank everybody again. It's such an honor, and I'm really surprised at all of it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Our next inductee is Julie Massa, who is unable to join us today because she is tested positive for COVID. But it's my pleasure and honor to acknowledge her election and induction into the MWGA Hall of Fame. As you read Julie's bio, you quickly realize she is Ms. Golf of Michigan, with her numerous championships and awards. Her message to you this morning is, please pass on to the other inductees my congratulations. And please know what a special honor this is to me and how grateful I am. I feel very fortunate that I get to play this wonderful game of golf that has taught me so much and given me so many wonderful friends. I have loved seeing the opportunities for female golfers grow so much over the 33 years that I have lived in Michigan. And the MWGA is part of that success. My sincere thanks to the MWGA for this award and their hard work. So there's going to be a slight deviation in the program, and Barbara Porter, please join me. Barbara, it's my pleasure to acknowledge your election and induction into the MWGA Hall of Fame. Barb's history with MWGA, while lengthy, also is expansive, as she focused on girls' golf programs, joining the Women's Golf Alliance, and was at the forefront of the successful legacy celebration that honored Mary Forsum, Betty Richard, and Shirley Spork. She continues to be my go-to coach. When I need another person to help with our girls' golf program, I know I can count on Barb if she's available. Barb, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Francine. Thanks to everyone with the MWGA for this honor. It's really quite an honor, quite pleasurable for me. It seems like everybody's blaming Sarah, but I'm not going to blame you, Sarah. I'm going to blame this one right here, Miss Ernestine O'Neill. She's the one that got me into the MWGA, and I thank you, Ernie, for that. You're welcome. I think that golf is a wonderful sorority for all of us, and the main thing about golf is, we all kind of need to keep it in perspective. It's a wonderful thing. It doesn't pay our bills. So foremost, I want everybody to have fun with the game. I thank you all, and I'm going to turn it back over to Ms. Pegues.
Thank you, Francie. My pleasure and honor. Darcy Stalker, please come join me. So Darcy, it's my pleasure to acknowledge your election and induction into the MWGA Hall of Fame. As you read Darcy's bio, you realize the depth of her golfing success, both as a player and as a coach, and to be so young. But Darcy told me there are a couple of other things that she also loves, that being volleyball and her boyfriend. Not in that order.
Thank you, Francine. I would first want to start out by thanking the MWGA, the current board, the election committee, and obviously the founding members. I remember way back when I was 19 years old playing in my first state events, and I met all of these wonderful people. I remember Sarah, I remember Betty, very specifically. And without you ladies, we wouldn't have these kinds of events, and I can't thank you enough. As well as just being a competitor in golf, and still to this day I go and I watch all the young girls that have these opportunities because of you, and again, thank you. I also want to say congratulations to all my fellow inductees. I'm just tickled pink to have one of my heroes being inducted along with me, and Julie Massa. So I remember again as a 19-year-old, oh my gosh, that's Julie. There's Joan Garrity, she's sitting at my table today. It's very exciting to be able to play with people that you looked up to, and this, again, we had that opportunity to do that. Got my love of sports early. I was a daddy's girl, and he would take me out on the golf course when I was a itty-bitty. And then he would get so frustrated with me, and then said to my brother, Tom, you take her out, I'm done. He did not have the patience my brother did. And if I didn't have my brother, I wouldn't be playing this game, because he was the one that really took me out and would work with me. My dad was very proud of me and followed me everywhere to every tournament, but it was my brother Tom that was instrumental in getting me to play the game. I've also been very lucky to be a golf coach. I've coached, oh Lord, so long. I'm now done coaching, but just the kids that I have met throughout the years and the wonderful parents that I worked with, I was very lucky in that I had parents that were active, and they weren't the parents that just dropped their kids off and said, you deal with them. They were there helping all of the girls along the way, and I wouldn't have met those wonderful people. In fact, I have one of my friends here from one of the first teams that I coached. She and I have become best friends. Thank you, dear. Pam Lindsay. Her daughter was an all-stater, and just, I couldn't have done it. And I learned a lot about being a mom. I don't have my own kids, but I learned a lot about being a mom from her, so thank you for being here. I'm really excited to be able to pass along my love of the game to everyone that I play with and all the players that I've coached throughout the years. Thank you again, and I appreciate this opportunity.
Okay, I'm back. Francine is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. She can't really induct herself. Actually, she was right. She could do it herself. Francine has had several years with the MWGA. She's been on the board. She was president for 6 years. She's run the girls golf program for the last many years, and I don't remember the numbers because I don't have my sheet of paper that has that on it, but she's been a fantastic leader. She's wonderful with the kids. She's tremendous amount of community involvement on several boards. You can always tell when Francine is in the room. Her expertise just, it just glows, fills the room. I am very proud to be able to induct Francine Pegues into the Michigan Women's Golf Association Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Once was enough, guys. I appreciate it. I'm flattered. First, I want to thank the members of MWGA for this honor. I'm deeply appreciative of this acknowledgement. To my sister honorees, I'm flattered to be in the fold with you. And I've always thought of myself as a change agent. The definition of a change agent is a person that causes a change in the way things are done or what ideas are viewed. Sarah Wold, you were my change agent, leading me to membership as a GAM governor and the board of the GAM Foundation, and your support for the girls' golf program. Thank you. I'm deeply flattered that so many of my family and friends are here today to enjoy this recognition with me, because so many of you contribute to me being me, a change agent. Angie Brooks, she's surprised. You are my only Pegues family I have still in Detroit, and I treasure the time we spend together. Barbara Adams, thanks for coming from Warren to represent my Emerson family on my mother's side. Barbara was my first babysitter. Cherise, my niece-in-law, I value your checking on my well-being regularly. You and your family are my extended family. Thank you. Alita Lacey, my namesake. My middle name is Alita. I'm so proud of your accomplishments as a mega successful business person and a wonderful mother. Thanks for coming from Atlanta. And Bo, keep her happy. Linda Barfield, raise your hand. I couldn't run the girls' golf program without you. Thanks for having my back. Margaret and Steve Collins, you're my extended family. I'll always treasure the memories from our cruises all over the world, but I'm most grateful the day you and your daughter brought me a birthday cake to the driving range 2 months after my mother's passing. You'll never know how much that meant to me. Marion Reich and Pam Bernansky, my Global Ties family members, thank you for being here, and thank you for being attentive to my mobility or lack of mobility in Dubai. I love working with you and with the Global Ties Board. You have changed my involvement in global diplomacy. Mary Washington, we started a golf league more than 40 years ago called the Bag Ladies. And it came full circle that when they dissolved, the money in their treasury they gave to the girls' golf program a couple of years ago. And so, as Mary and I will be golfing in 3 weeks up north someplace. So fast forward, we're still at the golf. Thank you, my longtime golfing sisters, for fun times all over the U.S. Terry Anthony and Debbie William Hoke. Both of you, raise your hand so people know who you are the reason MWGA Girls Golf Program has thrived and has been recognized by both the LPGA and GAM. I love that you love our junior golfers and give your all to help them succeed. We're an outstanding team together, and I thank you for being here. Thank you.
Smile.
Okay. One more.
Okay, well, thank you all. This has been tremendous. And we're not quite done. We still have a few other items on the agenda. We've completed the Hall of Fame inductees, but for our first time, we are presenting a Distinguished Service Award. I think we realize in our thinking that there are many awards to go around. There are people that just do extraordinary things for the organization. Longtime members do a lot of work. We really appreciate them, and we should always be able to recognize even greater numbers. Denise, Michelle, when you come to the front, please.
I have no money, so you can all just.
The money lady.
Denise has, like I said, been on our board for at least 16 years, vice president for several, gift certificate chair for a lot.
Forever.
She shows it up at all of our competitions with the money for the payouts. Thousands of dollars, and she got it all counted out, and we're out of there in like 10 minutes. She's fantastic at that job. In addition, Denise has brought several members into MWGA. She's always pleasant to be around. We really respect her. Everybody loves her. And she's gone over and beyond. We can't get rid of her. We'll never get anybody else in the competition. Do we have something to give to Denise?
Yes, it's a bowl.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, nobody tells me. Denise,
Yes,
thank you very much for your service.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate everything you've done.
thank you so much.
I think she said she didn't want to say anything, so.
I have a Sarah Walt story. One of the highlights of my time with the MWGA came one evening when my phone rang, and it was Sarah Wald. And she said, I think you would be perfect for this thing we've got going over in Ireland. I need you to take 21 girls to Ireland. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. You can't say no, right? So we had a fabulous time, and I'll always remember it. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right, as we're winding down to near the end of our presentation, I'd like to say a few words about this next person. Ms. Pat Myers, who is very inspirational, and again, she took on total responsibility for making sure everybody on our board understood the importance of having a Michigan Women's Golf Hall of Fame. She wasn't going to stop until we did it, and she did not. Pat has been a great promoter and supporter of the MWGA for many, many years. I'm going to tell a short story. I started golfing in like 1986, 87, and I joined a work league, and there were all foursomes. Pat was in my group, my first group. My first experience with golf was really playing real golf on the golf course with Pat in 1987. Are you still playing, Pat?
Am I still a player? No, I don't play anymore.
And I shouldn't, but that's okay. Anyway, Pat is going to have a few words about our founders. Thank you very much, Pat. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Cynthia. So I would like to start my remarks by talking about Sarah Wold. As the MWGA founder and chief and our own Energizer Bunny, Sarah Wold has been promoting women's golf in Michigan for over 50 years. She has been involved at the local, state, and national level. Sarah has served the Golf Association of Michigan since 1984 as a rules official, became GAM governor in 1998 on several committees, elected as a GAM president in 2019, and as a member of the board of directors of the GAM Foundation. She has played a leading role in officiating at several United States Golf Association tournaments, including the Women's Open, the Junior Boys, Women's Amateur, World Amateur Team Championship. Sarah was given the Ike Granger Award by the USGA in 2010 for 25 years of service. And in 2011, she received the Michigan Golf Course Owners Matthews Award for Lifetime Achievement. Sarah was elected to the Michigan Golf Hall of Fame in 2016 as the first inductee, and that was celebrated at our 30th anniversary celebration, which many of you in this room attended back on May 24th, 2016 at Red Run Country Club. Sarah.
Thank you very
very much. This is a live one, yes. Well, thank you very much. I think my heart is filled with gratitude today for everything that all of you have done to promote women's golf and to help support me and all the ideas we have. All of you have been involved in one way or another. So thank you very much.
Kathy Hereford, come on up. Kathy served on the MWGA board for 8 years, including 4 years as our president. She became one of the first women GAM governors in 1991 and was instrumental in starting the Women's Atlas Cup. Kathy was appointed to the USGA Women's Regional Affairs Committee and served on that committee for 10 years. And in 1995, Kathy was appointed to the USGA Women's WAPL Committee and later to the United States Senior Women's Amateur Committee. Kathy moved from Michigan to Georgia in 1993 and continued to work for USGA and the Golf Association of Georgia. Kathy was made an honorary member of MWGA in 1993. Nancy Abbott, come on up.
My daughter came up. Hey. Your guilt is here.
You have all heard the phrase, follow the money. Nancy served on the MWGA board for 9 years and was our first treasurer. She was responsible for tracking all of the MWGA income, which primarily consisted of our member dues and our tournament entry fees, and tracking all of our expenses, which primarily consisted of paying the golf course cart and golf fees for our tournaments. Nancy.
What would we have ever done without Sarah? Okay.
Can you go over stand?
Oh.
Take a picture of you.
Yeah.
All right, right here. 1, 2. Thank you.
You don't want to see me fall flat.
Shirley Esterbrook. Shirley Esterbrook served on the MWGA board for a year. She brought a unique perspective as her family was the owners of Falkwood Shores Golf Course in Howell. Falkwood Shores was the host site of the local Michigan qualifying tournaments for the USGA Women's Amateur Public Links Championships in 1985 and 1986. It was also used for many of the MWGA tournaments. Thank you, Shirley. Dee Clacko. In 1986, Dee Clacco was among 20 women who formed the board of directors for the Michigan Women's Club Links Golf Association, now known as the MWGA. She served on the board for 3 years and was our first membership director.
I would just like to say one thing, that you don't know what you have till you lost it or it's gone. That's been illustrated by our Supreme Court too. But when we started this, public golf course players weren't allowed to play in the Michigan State tournament. And as Sarah acknowledged, and she said, you know, this isn't right and we have to do something. And that was one of the reasons to start this group. And so the first year that we had, we're allowed to play in the Michigan State golf tournament for women. The private courses ran it. They ran everything and they said who could come in. And anyway, Sarah said, well, we have to send a public golf course player. And they sent me. And I think I had a 9 handicap at the time. And I was so intimidated, all these nicely dressed ladies with towels in their back pocket. And I had no money, no nice clothes or anything. But anyway, I think I may have been the first one to play in the state tournament back in '86. So you don't know what you have till you lose it. Get volunteers, share your experiences with everyone.
Tanya Hurley. In February of 1986, I was seated at my desk in my office at Michigan Bell, which is now AT&T Michigan, and I received a phone call from Tanya Hurley. She said that she had attended a meeting with Sarah Wold and several other women about establishing a women's golf association and needed a person to serve on rules. And she offered my name and told me the date and time of the next meeting. Tanya served on the MWGA board for 5 years and was our handicap director. Now remember, back in 1986, there was no online posting of golf scores. Back then, the members sent all their scores to Tanya via U.S. mail, and Tanya calculated our handicaps. Betty Smith. As one of the founding members of WMGA, Betty Smith served 8 years on the board of directors in various positions. She was the Michigan representative for the USGA Junior Girls Championship from 1997 to 1999. One of Betty's duties on our MWGA board was preparing our newsletter. Remember, back then, well, there was no internet. We had to create the newsletter and send it via U.S. mail to communicate with our members. As a side note, while Betty was on our board, she was a teacher at the middle school in Plymouth, Michigan. We used her classroom for our meetings.
I do remember that. One brief thing. It all goes back to Sarah Wold, but it's not her fault. It's our blessing. So Sarah, thank you for that.
conclusion, election to the MWGA Hall of Fame is a unique honor bestowed upon individuals who have demonstrated outstanding achievement, leadership, professionalism, good character, and the highest standards of conduct associated with this extraordinary game of golf. The MWGA founders served as a platform for the Michigan Women's Golf Association Hall of Fame. And the members of the classes of 2016, 2017, and 2019 have contributed to its ongoing success. A special shout out to the MWGA Hall of Fame members that are here today to welcome the class of 2022. Class of 2016, Sarah Wold. Class of 2017, Joan Garrity. Nancy Sarah. Pat Shelton. Class of 2019, Deb Horning. Pat Myers. Debbie Williams Hope. Turn the mic back to Cynthia.
Thank you, and the founders plaque for Pat Myers. Thank you.
Before she adjourns, a couple of things. One is the bar will stay open until 3 o'clock. In case you need to socialize and catch up and honor people. And secondly, the girls' golf program has evolved to now the Martha McIntosh Memorial Golf Outing. Jennie is here, Parker, Martha's daughter, is in the audience. Tomorrow, we are having the Martha McIntosh Memorial Golf Outing. There's 60 players, and in the last 12 to 14 hours, 5 or 6 of the adults playing with juniors have had to drop out with illnesses and other afflictions. So I'm standing before you now pleading for 3 or 4 or 5 of you who have 4 hours to give us tomorrow. We have a shotgun start at 9 a.m. at Rouge Park Golf Course. It's a 9-hole scramble, 2 kids, 2 adults. Everybody rides. There's no cost to you to do this. I'm just looking for people to play with the kids. Because as you know, they cannot drive the golf carts.
Got 2 here.
All right, see me afterwards, and I'm going to get your email addresses, and I will send to you the information you need to know for tomorrow. I need you to be there at 8:30, shotgun start at 9, lunch will be at 12:15. It's being catered by Chris Bellies, and it's a good time. It's a great time. And I thank you.
We'll wrap this up a lot earlier than I thought we would, but that's okay. I think,
Cynthia, tonight, and could we have the inductees, the DSA award winner, and the co-founders take a picture of this group afterwards?
absolutely. Although we're wrapping up, there are a couple other things that we need to do. The pictures is definitely one, and I don't know where you're going to want us. As I was looking through the program and trying to prepare for this, I went through and read all the bios again on the website. The bios are absolutely fantastic. Actually, there is so much information about our members that it's really worth taking the time to log on to the MWGA-HOF.org website. There's a small mention of the website on the back of the program. If you look under acknowledgments, it's not Seven Hall of Fame Committee. Peggy Dunnigan was webmaster. The website name is there. Please take the time to go back and just go through some of the menu items, the tabs, the members, some of the bios. There's some great stories in there. Really are. Again, thank you for your attendance. The bar is open. I hope to get around to talk to some of you today. There's so many faces here, people I haven't seen in years. It's just nice seeing everyone, being with everyone. We appreciate your day. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in 2 years.